You have everything you were told would make you happy, a career path that looks stable on paper. A digital window that connects you to everyone, and a schedule filled with short-term goals. And yet, when the sun goes down and the blue light of the screen finally fades, there is no satisfaction. There is only a quiet, ringing silence, a hollow echo in the chest that doesn't go away. Most people will call this depression, but they are wrong. Depression implies a malfunction in the machinery. This is not a malfunction. This is a high-level adaptation, a biological response to a modern world. A world that no longer requires your soul. It only requires your data and your labor. Welcome to the age of the great desensitization. We are living inside a structural void. And it didn't happen by accident. It was built by design, floor by floor, system by system. To understand why you feel nothing, we must look at the blueprint of modern life. The world is now governed by the logic of the machine. In engineering, friction is the ultimate enemy. Friction slows down the gear, generates heat, and loses energy. But in human psychology, feeling is the friction. If you feel deep grief, you cannot work. If you feel overwhelming joy, you are distracted from the task. The system prefers you in a state of neutral existence. It requires functional numbness to survive its own pace. This is the only way to maintain the speed of global production. We have traded experience for a flat highway. A gray, infinite highway that leads nowhere. It is safer this way, and more predictable for the stakeholders. But for the passenger, it is profoundly empty. Think of your mind as a biological circuit breaker. When the electrical load becomes too high, the breaker flips to prevent the entire house from burning down. We live in an era of hyperstimulation. Every single minute, your senses are under constant attack. You see more tragedy in a morning scroll than your ancestors saw in a year, and more beauty than they saw in a lifetime. Your brain did the only logical thing it could do to survive. It numbed the sensors. It lowered the volume of the entire world to save your sanity. This is the power asymmetry of the digital age. The entities that control the stimuli do not care about your heart. They only care about the duration of your attention. And you give more attention when you are searching for a lost feeling that you can no longer reach. It is a ghost chase. A digital phantom limb that itches but can never be scratched. In the modern workplace, this is rebranded as professionalism. We decouple our identity from our work. You are told to be resilient, to be a high performer, to remain objective under extreme pressure. But resilience is often just a mask for the void. A polite word for being a well-functioning sociopath. You navigate office politics every day, witness credit being stolen, and endure the subtle rot of gaslighting. You survive it by turning off the parts of yourself that hurt. But you cannot selectively mute the soul. When you turn down the volume on pain, the sunset loses its warmth and the touch of a loved one feels like static. The pride of a job well done becomes just another notification. You are now a ghost inhabiting your own life. Look at the architecture of our modern cities. Glass, steel, and perfect symmetry designed for flow. These are minimalist spaces that offer no friction for the eye, prioritizing efficiency over human presence. Look at our social interactions. Managed, filtered, and optimized for the algorithm's ultimate approval. We have removed the threat of spontaneity, and in doing so, we have removed the spark that makes life worth living. Your mind has become a vault, full of data and memories you don't care about, but empty of real meaning. This is the silent dominance of the system. It doesn't need to chain you if it can make you stop caring about freedom. If you are numb, you are predictable. If you are predictable, you are manageable for the machine. We are witnessing the quiet, documented failure of modern life. A world that solved survival but forgot why. Structural causes are ignored. They want you to believe the void is your personal failure. They tell you to meditate more, to buy a new product, to optimize your sleep and your diet. But how do you cure a person who is perfectly adapted to a sick environment? The numbness is not a disease. It is a signal from the deep, the last scream of your soul saying, "This is not enough for me." We smile for the camera and post the highlight reel of a life we aren't even living. We perform the ritual of being okay for the sake of others, but performance is not experience. The more we perform, the deeper the void grows inside us. It is a feedback loop of absolute nothingness. Even geography plays a part. Our terrain is no longer nature, it is infrastructure, corridors, and cubicles. Everything is designed to move you from point A to point B as fast as possible. Stillness is a loss of data. But life only happens in the being, not in the moving. This is the Machiavellian trap of our century. To stay at the top, or even just to survive, you must shed your humanity bit by bit every single day. You must become a resource. Human resources is the most honest thing the system ever said. You are a mine to be extracted. And when the ore is gone and the output drops, you are replaced. The system does not mourn your departure. It just recalibrates for the next production cycle. We are gaslit by systems, not just by people. We follow a script written by code in a dark, lonely room. The alienation is total. The void is structural. So how do we break the circuit before it burns out? The answer is not finding happiness. Happiness is just another chemical product to be commodified and traded. The solution is the restoration of meaning, and meaning requires the one thing the system hates: friction. You must become intentionally inefficient. You must allow yourself to feel the weight of the world again. Even if that weight feels like it will crush you, to feel is a revolutionary act in this machine age. It means looking at the power dynamics and saying no. It means refusing to play the neutral, professional part. It means acknowledging the rot in the foundation and seeing the architecture of the void for what it is. The void is a shield you built to survive the noise. But a shield can also become a prison cell. It is time to put the shield down and face the friction of being a real human being again. The world is still there, beneath the glass and the steel. It is messy, painful, and dangerously alive. You are not broken. You are just waiting to be switched back on by your own hand. Log out of the simulation. Breathe the unfiltered air. Realize the shadows on the wall are just shadows. The great desensitization ends when you refuse to be numb. The architecture only stands as long as you pay rent. Step outside into the unknown. Feel the cold, the heat, and the sharp sting of truth. Because even the sharpest pain is better than this silence. Even grief is better than the ringing of nothing. Reclaim your power from the machine. Dismantle the void, brick by brick, one feeling at a time. One moment of stillness at a time. Welcome back to the struggle. Welcome back to the world.